Cool.
There we are.
Yay.
Mila, thank you ever so much for joining me, for giving up some of your time. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here.
Brilliant. Listen, a lot has been going on in the world. How are you? How have you been keeping up? How has it affected everything?
Good. This year has actually been a nice year for me.
Yeah.
And it sounds so bad saying that, but it's the most content I've ever been. And I think it's because in that lockdown time, we were allowed to breathe because the whole world was standing still and we could just be. There wasn't a pressure from society. There wasn't a thing you have to be something or you have to do this or you have to do that. It was just, you could just be and work on yourself. If it is breathing, yoga, Pilates, whatever you wanted to do, read a book or whatever, you had that time for yourself. And I think that was very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
So this year has been good.
Yeah, cool.
And you?
Yeah, no, good. I think I can sort of echo that. Of course, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on that's not so positive. But as you say, the noise has stopped. You know, I have felt like there's been this space, you know, to breathe and to you know, to think and to sort of, you know, take everything in and to move forward sort of more, you know, introspectively.
Yeah. Very nice, actually.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I've seen a lot of I've seen you everywhere for some reason. You know, it seems like you've been busy a lot. You know, what are some of the things that you've been doing?
Well, I try to be busy because I hate sitting at home. So I always try to do everything. But I'm working on Tswana at the moment. And then I also did a series last year called Extra Medium, which is it started last week, Monday on CakeNet, which is very nice. And then I just try to do as much like wardrobe art stuff or little ads and everything that I can. I don't like to sit at home and do nothing.
Cool.
I feel bad.
So you've been keeping busy.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you're on Tswana now. But your first, if I'm not mistaken, your first role was in Binnenlanders. Your first acting job. Yeah.
Yeah, 2014.
Oh wow! So it's been a good 6 years in the business or something.
Yeah. Very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Yeah,
but Binnenlanders was my first role. It was lekker. It was a challenge because obviously it was your first role. It's a soapy. There's a certain way that they want you to act, be, stand, whatever. So you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but it was really nice. Yeah.
So that was straight out of university or.
So I was finishing one of my subjects because I studied my first year in New Zealand because we immigrated there when I was 14. So I did my first year in New Zealand and then I transferred back to South Africa because I just wanted to do 1 year in South Africa. But then obviously I stayed on. But so they didn't accept one of my subjects. So I had to take that one over in like first year and start over. So at the end of when I was finishing up, I still had like 1 foot at university with the one subject, and then I could be in the industry, which is very nice because then I was studying and I felt safe, but I'm exploring this new world. And then that's when I did Binnenlanders.
Yeah, amazing. And it's been project after project since then, you know.
Yeah, it flowed, which was nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's very lucky. You mentioned that you and your family emigrated to New Zealand when you were 14.
Yes.
And then you came back. What prompted the decision? What brought you back?
So I don't know, like New Zealand is very nice, but it didn't have for me. I wanted to have a varsity life, and I didn't find it there. And the spirit is like lekker here. You go to res, there's sport games, there's dances or whatever, and then where I studied, they didn't have that. So I just wanted to have that experience because I thought I missed out on it during high school. So I was like, oh, let me just go for a year. And then in that year, I met a boy, and then I stayed. So it's not like a beautiful. I love South Africa, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm staying because this is it. And it's because it was someone.
Yeah, and you, I mean, you mentioned that you went to school here before you went to New Zealand, obviously. Was that in,
Just
yeah,
grade 8.
Oh, I see. Are you from Pretoria or Joburg or?
No, Nelspruit.
Oh, right. Oh, cool. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're in Gauteng.
Now I live in Johannesburg, Linden.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so I mean, it's always because I mean, I lived in London for 12-ish years, sort of
I
studying.
wanted to ask you about accent. I was like,
no, I mean,
nice.
I lived there, studied and worked a bit and stuff, and
Wow.
I'm based here in South Africa at the moment.
Yes.
To come back,
Where are you staying?
Well, I'm currently based in Bloemfontein because that's where I'm from.
Wow, Bloemfontein.
Yeah, it's like a big leap,
Very big leap, very big leap. But how was your studies in London?
Pardon?
Was it nice? How was London? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, great experience and obviously a great opportunity. I got to meet a lot of great people and lots of very exciting opportunities. But what I was going to say, there's just something about South Africa, that just sort of attracts me back all the time, and it's kind of hard to explain to people sometimes. I don't know whether you find that.
They're like, but the grass is greener, it's beautiful, it's great there, and you're like, yeah, I hear you, but every country has their problems, and I feel like I'd rather be here with our country's problems because it's a beautiful country, it's beautiful people.
Yeah.
The food is lekker. Nice. I love South Africa.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. You mentioned that you're obviously on Simslan at the moment. How long has that been going on for, and how long is it going to go on for?
Well, I started end of Jan this year, which is very fortunate because then COVID happened and I was like,
so you had something. Yeah.
That's very fortunate. And I think so they work in contracts from August till August, and then so I don't know how long I'm going to stay, but for now it's still next year August. Yeah. But I love Simdulan. It's so lucky working there. It's a fun environment. I get to do what I love. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. So I mean, most of your stuff is obviously sort of TV, but you studied theatre, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, drama. When in New Zealand, when I studied there, they have a nice course which is like 6 months theatre and 6 months TV acting. So that was nice.
Okay.
And then I came to Tux, and it's more theory based, and it's also more theatre. They have like on-screen stuff, but not as much. But I don't know. Like when I did my first year in New Zealand, I really liked TV acting. I don't know why. There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but it's nice because it's here. You can't lie to the camera. Like they're seeing everything. And I think theater, I really want to do theater more. I think it's very, what's the word? Uitdagend. What's it now in English?
Challenging.
Yes, very challenging. So I would love to do both, but I've been fortunate enough to do TV work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I prefer. I like both.
For people who don't know, would you say that theatre is TV work is a bit more intimate and theatre work is a bit more
Yes,
bigger?
but that's just my experience. Everyone could have a different experience, but for me, it's TV. TV, it's right here. The lens is here. It's watching your every move. Where theater is more your body, so your body does more of the work. Where TV, your eyes, and I think I like that because I like seeing people's eyes and seeing what goes on behind them. I try to figure out what's behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you're looking to do a bit more theatre work, but it just so happens that you're doing mostly TV work
Yes.
at the moment.
I would never say no to any jobs because I feel like each job you get, it's an opportunity you can grow, especially as an actor. Like characters you can learn from, things you can learn with your body, emotions, empathy, all those stuff. So I would never say no to any opportunity because I really like growing.
Yeah. And so what are some of the I suppose every actor or actress has their sort of ideal or dream role or character or whatever, what is yours?
Shoot. People always ask that and I never know what my answer is going to be. But I don't know if you've ever watched Shameless.
No, I've not. No.
But the character Emmy Ross, it's like this wild character that just does anything and everything, and I don't know, like I don't think there's something specific, but I really want to be something that you're like, is that Mila? Like that you don't see me at all. Like it's a transformation. Maybe I shaved my hair, maybe I cut my hair, maybe it's just like something that's not in my stereotype. Like really raw, edgy, something crazy that I have to like research and really like be like, who is this person? Yeah. I would like something like that.
Do you find that slightly frustrating or sometimes when because there is this thing that you almost get stereotyped or put in a box, this or sort of this is what Mila does or whatever.
Yes.
Do you find that you sometimes want other things to come in?
Like I've been very fortunate in my career to have played different kind of roles, which I'm very thankful for. Like that I can do comedy, drama. It's not been the stereotypical girly role, which I really like. But I think in South Africa, especially Afrikaans industry, there hasn't been roles for girls that are edgy. It's always the safe, stereotypical girl role. So I get frustrated in the stories. I wish there was more stories for women, especially that are like raw and fighting and doing dangerous, cool things. So I get frustrated. But I can't write, so I can't really complain. I can just say thank you for this. Hope that one day someone amazing. So let's hope. Let's put it out there. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Amazing. Now you mentioned specifically sort of especially for women kind of thing. You know, a lot has been going on. Around. We celebrated Women's Month last month. But a lot of it has been sort of slightly tainted, by the fact, that all of this stuff has been going on, still going on. Sort of women being attacked and murdered and all this stuff. I don't know whether you have, what are your thoughts on that? How do you feel towards all of that?
It's crazy that after lockdown, more gender-based violence was going on. Like obviously before it as well, but like we were more alert again. Once that's the thing with this gender-based violence thing. It's every time in Women's Month we get alerted again, and it's like this thing has been going on this whole year. It's been going on, like, and it's not lacquer because. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it, but it's not fun. And it's not like I am very brave and I'm not really scared. Like I drive anywhere, I do whatever I want. But now I'm like, I can't even go to the park alone. If I wanted to go walk this little dog, I can't do that alone because I'm scared. And I hate it. I hate that I have to be scared of the cops. I have to be scared of someone at the window, like by me. I have to be scared if I go to the shops alone. Like, just like in the day, these things are happening. It's not anymore like at night if you're out and you're whatever, but it's happening during the day as well. And I don't know. I don't have answers for it. I know I am frustrated with it, and I don't know what we can do, because we as women should not be scared to live our life.
Yeah.
Like we've been taught, like, don't be dependent on a man. You're independent. Do your thing. But at the same time, I'm trying to do my thing and be independent, but then I have to be scared of doing my thing and have a man around. So
Yeah.
that's frustrating. So yeah, I don't know. I just think we as women should just keep speaking up about it, and not just do it in Women's Month, but throughout the year, and just be alert and try to warn each other when we see something. Or I don't know. I have no answers when it comes to this topic. I'm just frustrated.
Yeah, no, I can completely understand, and I completely agree that the first step is conversation and keeping it going. Because as you mentioned, we have these waves of movements and stuff, but then it sort of quietens down and nothing really happens, So how to sort of use, the fire that we've got going at the moment, if you see what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was speaking to a cousin of mine just some time ago, and she was saying that I mean she for me as a guy, I call up my friends, hey, do you want to go and have a drink, and but for them as girls, to have a girls' night, it's a completely different thing, and that's a very sad thing for me. I think
sad.
Yeah,
you have to watch everything. You have a drink at a bar, you have to be like, did I leave it there? What did I do? Did I hold it close? Like everything is just, you have to like be like this the whole time. Who's watching me?
yeah it's not great. And I'm sure there are a lot of young actors and actresses who look up to what you do, or young people in general, older people just generally who look at you and admire what you do, and look at the kind of person that you are. Do you have any kind of advice or words of motivation or inspiration for them?
Well, I always tell people, like, don't take no for an answer. It sounds tough. But if someone says no, find another way to get in there. Like, if you want to be on set, say, I'll do it for free and carry the coffees around. But don't be lazy. This industry is very tough, and don't be discouraged. Like, there's a lot of people who want to make it and want to do work. So you have to hustle. And if a no comes, then you have to be like, cool, how am I going to make it a yes for the next time, or whatever. But it is a difficult industry. And when I first started, cool, I got Binnenlanders, but then after that I didn't get a role, and then I was like, okay, but how can I keep staying in the industry? I'll assist in wardrobe. So just so I can be on set and learn the things that are happening and how it's happening and what you need. And I think that's why I say, don't ever say no to any opportunity coming your way, and don't take no for an answer, because you have to keep growing. You have to learn, and you have to be responsible for yourself. No one's going to take that responsibility or try to be like, come, you can do it. Like, you have to go for it, and you have to fight for it. And just keep doing your best. And especially actors, there was a lot of times when I didn't get a role, and I cry in my car on the way home, and I'm like, what did I do? Was I ugly? Was I not good enough? Blah, blah, blah. But then also finding out that not every role is yours, and you just have to show up, do your best, and if it's a no, then it's a no. Then there is going to be a next one, but you have to show up, and you have to bring the work.
No, I completely agree with that. show up, be in the
Do
room.
it.
Yeah, be in the
Yes.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, yeah,
Hmm.
no, absolutely. I mean, it's like one of my mentors. I always, because I work with a lot of young people these days, and I always tell them the story of my mentor telling me, because I told him about all these dreams, that I've got, and he was not quite as interested, as I wanted him to be, and I was
Yeah.
quite frustrated. And he says, look, it's great that you have dreams, and I would never discourage them, but in the end, what makes a difference is what you do about it, right? It's so easy to sit around and to talk about all the great ideas that you've got, or the potential that you think your potential idea has, but who are the people who are willing to carry the coffees around and to
Yeah.
to turn up, kind of thing. So I completely agree with that.
I heard this thing on the radio the other day. The guy said, um, dreams are just dreams, but goals with something like goals.
Something with
Is
a
it
plan
now?
or with a goal, yeah.
You have to have goals to have a dream. You can't just have dreams.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
have goals. You have to make it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are. People's not gonna make it happen for you. You can't just go, yeah. So I have this dream, and this is my destiny. But you're not working for it. Then it's not gonna happen. And then other opportunities are not gonna come your way, and you're not gonna be like, oh, actually, I don't like this. I maybe like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah. So what's your sort of projection for the next sort of 5-ish years for you? Or ideally, where would you like to be?
I would like to keep working.
Yeah. Number one.
Keep doing what I do. I would love to have been in a drama series, another film, which would be nice, and direct. I would like to direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for now. That's that. I would like to do that
Yeah,
and
cool.
make it happen. Actually, not just say it was gonna happen. I would like to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yours?
Oh gosh. Well, if the funny thing is, if anything, what my sort of life up until now has shown me, that I won't know, where I'll be, because I mean,
Yes.
my life is so drastically different,
Oh wow.
to what I thought it would be, and in a good way. Yeah, and so for me, it's about allowing the process. It's for me, the most important thing is just to keep growing and sort of and contributing. That's kind of the big thing. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like you
and
have to have like things you want to accomplish, but however you get there is how you're gonna get there. But you put it
yeah,
out in the universe. Yeah, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't,
yeah,
great. Something else happened.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
right, it's beautiful what you said. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna contribute.
Cool. Who are some of the people who inspire you, whether it be professionally or personally?
Ooh, that's weird. Uh, who inspires me? I think that's always a difficult one because I get inspiration from everybody. Like I get little snippets. I'm like, oh, you're doing that. Ah, okay, that's cool. And so, like, I love people, and I love people watching, and I love people's stories, and I like finding out who and what made them like who they are.
Yeah.
So I think people inspire me. I don't think there's anyone specific that I'm like, oh, she inspired me or he inspired me, but I think people in general, and just looking at them and seeing how a lot of people just hustle and they make it work, and they're just like, yeah, cool. They're not gonna sit down and wait for life. They're gonna live life. So yeah, I think people.
Cool. Yeah. Look, Mila.
I keep
Oh
wanting to
gosh.
ask.
Yeah, it is a slightly tricky question. I mean, I as a musician, of course, there are many people who inspire me. But but one person, there is this racing driver, late 80s, early 90s, Tsena, Brazilian F1 world champion. And there's this beautiful documentary about him. And one of his teammates, at the time, says, apart from all of the amazing accomplishments, on the track as a racing driver, what he admired most about Ayrton was the fact that he was big enough to be small, and I think that sort of sums up, the guy, and it's being at the top of what you do and still being able to be a human being, if you see what I mean,
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I found it beautiful. It sort of inspires me every time I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch that docu of The Last Dance with Michael Jordan?
I haven't. It's crazy. I watch such little television, and it's I have like blocks of time that I do bits, but then I have like 6 documentaries to catch up on, or like but everybody's been raving about it, and I have to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, inspiring. It's like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
This person was a person. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Amazing.
But I like that quote, big enough to be small.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's
Want to
cool.
write it down?
Mila, it's been really lovely talking to you.
Just talking to you.
Yeah, just one last question before we go.
Yes.
There's this beautiful. I asked this to all of my guests. There's this beautiful quote by Horace Mann, the educator, that says, be ashamed to die until you have scored a victory for humankind. What is yours? What is your victory? Before you leave this earth, what is it that you want to have achieved?
So my quote is, be more, appear less. And I just want to be more in a sense of like you said, contribute to people, like even if it's a smile or something I left behind, or I talked about it with somebody the other day, but I would like to leave this earth knowing that I never made someone feel bad, that I always helped them, inspired them, and listened to them. I think we as people don't listen to each other enough anymore. We're just like, yeah, cool, and we're selfish and we go our own ways. But I would like to be known as a person who really listened and cared and understood. Yeah. So that's how I would just be like that.
No, I really
I
get
think. I don't know. Maybe it changes.
No, yeah. No, kindness and empathy, I think, is one of the, is our great virtues, which,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mila,
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ruan. It was so nice.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for asking me. I really appreciate it. And you have such a beautiful voice. Like, I can be like him. Little doggy, he fell asleep. He's like, oh, who is this voice? You should do like radio dramas or work or whatever. But
That's very kind. That's very kind. Thank you. But thank you ever so much, and good luck with all of your projects. And I hope to see and hear from you soon.
Yes. Hope to see you in real life one day.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make it happen. Thanks.
Bye-bye.